What's up, Eric? How you doing? It's another day.
It's another great day. Today is a magnificent day. It is my Friday. It is vacation
You're
getaway
going on
day.
vacation.
Dude, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right? The whole week with knowing that you're not going to be at work for an entire week in a couple days.
Right.
Oh.
Well, welcome everybody to the Contagion Effect, where we love to talk to our veterans.
Yes.
We discuss mental health,
PTSD, mental health awareness, 988.
Hey, we are here for you. So we're excited about today's show. Very excited.
We're excited about all this.
Oh, dude, we are excited about all of our shows.
Every week we're excited.
Everybody's gonna be like,
Except for
we're
that
tired.
1 week.
We're gonna we won't share that 1 week. Eric, I know you're going on vacation, and by the way, we gotta pop it up. So Tonto was the first one.
He's 2-0.
Yes, he did. He's 2-0. So
Someone's
congrats, Tonto. You are the winner.
Yeah.
But there's Mikey. There's Mikey.
What up, everyone? What up?
He thought he got that Rio Vista Bridge. That's funny.
Yeah, you're like a week late.
Right.
Right. Yeah, it's about a week. Yeah.
What's going on every day Saturday?
What is
I love how you add the crayons to your comment. That is hilarious.
I think it's like a staple.
Yeah. When we see Marine Corps, we know the crayons just come along, right? I mean,
I got lost in the rabbit hole the other day, and they're like edible crayons for Marines.
Hey, welcome to the show, Flint. Welcome
What's
to the show.
up, everyone? Hey, it's gonna be really crazy in the chat today, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of different things going on. If we don't get to you, don't take it personal.
Yes, please don't take it personal.
We're just two dudes, right? Like in the bio
dudes.
says, we're just two dudes that chit chat and bullshit and make our way through life and help each other out. And
talk to some amazing veterans.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you,
the best flavor.
I love really. So cherry, huh? Okay, all right. I mean, I figured purple would be thrown in there.
Red?
Too.
No, it's red. It's not
red.
Cherry.
No. Oh, that's cherry. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Go figure.
Thank you, Broken. Thank you. Two dudes and a Tonto. Yes, Tonto is always. Dude, have we scheduled Tonto?
It's the ball is in his court. Okay?
Oh, Tonto, we got to get you on.
The ball's in everyone's court. Hey, if you want to join the Contagion Effect show,
red is the best.
Go check out Calendly.
It's
in our bio.
/Contagion Effect.
Yeah, all that good crap, right? Again, green apple.
Well, I guess you would know, right? You'd like those green crayons. I guess you would know.
Red is the best. Yeah.
All right, buddy. So I know your week went quick, right? Because you were just concentrated. You had short timers. You were short timing it.
I can't wait to retire because if that's what that shit felt like.
You're going on vacation, short timing. Now it's retirement.
Yeah. No, that's like I got like 9.5.
Except for I'm gonna say it. We're Gen Xers, right? So
are we?
We're never retiring the way things are.
No, because we all have to do something. I mean, I'm not going to go work at Walmart, but be a greeter.
Why not?
At Target, because I haven't been to Walmart in 2.5 years.
Is it the group theft stuff? Because you'll want to tackle people going out of the store.
When grocery stores are closing in San Francisco because there's so much theft.
That city. That's that city.
It happens everywhere. There's theft.
Not
everywhere.
At that rate.
America is just one big theft ball right now.
It is.
If you want it, just go grab it.
Well, it's definitely a theft ball where we have prosecutors who don't prosecute people for actual
Don't
crime.
steal $700 worth of shit. You can go to jail for it.
Right.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, you know what? Let's get a little Gary, because
Gary Miller.
I have a whole couch set. I got, if you've heard of Love Sack, I have 25 boxes. It's called Love Sack.
Okay.
It is called Love Sack. Thank you. Don't be smart. But the wife wanted a love sack.
Of course she did.
Thank you for turning it into something else. But thanks to our
Why is that not a song, dude?
I'm just gets you going.
I'm just gonna take it and just make it a clip on something.
There you go. And thanks to Gary, I have 25 boxes to tear down and put together this whole couch set. So it's gonna be.
Listen, the overhaul at the studio is gonna be unbelievable.
Oh yeah. And we're moving. So the goal
we're moving into new digs.
Hopefully within the next 2 weeks.
Whoop, whoop.
And we'll have our green screen set up so our backgrounds will look a lot better. Everything.
What's wrong with my green? No, that would get you if I.
Flint, that is awesome. Thank you. Even though your dad served in Canada, thank you for his service. I couldn't even say it.
Wait, but
Canada.
Even though he's
he served in Canada. Like, thank you for your service there. Sorry. Again, it's that word little, right? Tonto, love shack. No, it's a love sack.
Like
love
as in a bag of.
But it's my wife and I, so it could be a love shack too.
Yeah,
it's all good.
It is a love shack. Yeah.
What you still?
There's a whole segue I was going to go on to, but we're staying focused because you only gave me like 10 minutes of airtime. So
10, that's what we normally do.
I know.
Why would we?
Dang, I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done coughing.
Are you good?
Let me take a drink.
Eric's getting better. So
from my sip from.
Okay, so while Eric's taking a sip, I am excited about today because we scoured the internet and found just the most amazing videos, and we're gonna have to get into our intro before we actually launch. But I did want to take a minute. I think when you look at some of the stuff that's online, sometimes there's not a lot of thought into it, right? There's not.
You've been on my page?
Yeah.
Have you seen some of my videos?
People just throw things out there. People just
see if
do whatever.
It sticks or not.
And I know that's the way that
we got to build it up. Well, not
come on, we got to at least build up to it. I know you're all here for that, but we'll get to him. We'll get to him. He's coming. And I think a lot of you who know he's on the show today are going to be very baffled by how this starts out, because I think there's going to be a little twist, and I'm excited about that part. So
fanboy fandom.
You know, we already fanboyed. We got that out of the way, so we can be serious conversation. But when you're talking about somebody, you know, TikTok, YouTube, somebody that's doing it big across the board, you know, this person obviously puts some thought into it, spend some time really sharing thoughts and of our generation, right? We're Gen Xers, and he's part of this generation. So
the way that he explains it and shows it and sets it up, it's really beautiful. Catchy, right? You're sitting here like looking, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden he's like,
yeah, look at Tonto. Dude had me dying the other day. Literally every time he posts a video, I'm dying. So it's very understandable.
Watching it work.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to be quiet, Brooklyn. Thank you.
Medical. That's what it sounds like when you call.
That's Eric's daughter, the nurse. Anyways, so let's get a little Scotty.
Let's get Scotty Hastings,
and then that way we can bring on our guests. So with that, let's get Scotty going and get us started.
Yeah, the times and places, they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, well, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home, yeah, sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell.
All right, I am gushing with excitement, ready to go. Are you ready, Eric?
Let's get it.
Are you ready? So we are getting ready to introduce our guest. It's already popped up in some of the comments, right? So we are introducing John, the Dad Bod Veteran. And see, I got too excited. The Dad Bod Veteran. You can find him on TikTok. You can find him on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Cameo. We were just talking about Cameo. And he just launched a brand that he's getting to build up, but we will talk more about that later. John, welcome to the show. Let's freak everybody out. Let's freak everybody out.
Hello, everyone. It's very nice to hear you. I'm glad that we're all brought here together, but I have a revelation for all of you. I don't actually sound like this every day. I actually sound just like this. For everybody that's watching, this is actually the voice that I use on the daily basis. Please forgive me. If you look at some of my really, really old stuff, you'll see that I used to actually use this voice whenever I was on TikTok. In fact, there's a couple other voices I used to use, but this is actually me. So that's how we're going to talk today. we'll go back to the
Mind
Mind
blown.
Mind melting.
Oh, man.
Mind blown. I
So-
thought that was the only voice.
So since he brought up, how did you stick to that one? Is that one that just kind of caught? I know I went ahead. I just had a guess.
Tonto, no, that felt.
Yeah, so there were actually 3 voices that started it, right? There was this voice is actually Dad Bod the Wise. That's who this guy was, right? And they're not fake voices. They're real. I mean, they're real parts of our lives. They're real stories, and they really hold, to a part of our life. But there was others. There was Joey the Dad Bod, who was the Italian guy, and there was even for a moment there was a Kelly the Dad Bod. Which those videos are still posted there. So if you want to see me wearing a wig with a female voice, then
it's
there.
I gotta go find those. I didn't go back far enough because I'll be honest. When I came across one of your first videos, I was just like, I love this guy. I love everything he does every time it comes up, right? And so then I saw the name and I'm like, okay, is he just saying that he's a veteran? And so I had to go search, and then I saw that you were in the service. I'll let you tell that story. But so then I was super excited. I'm like, hey, I'm going to try reaching out and see if he's interested in coming on our show, because you fall right into who we talk to. So hopefully everybody's minds are blown that are huge fans of you, because I know when I got to talk to you.
Hopefully everybody watches tomorrow as well for new videos and doesn't just forget about me after this.
No. Oh hey, my God. I would feel so guilty.
We were sitting there. I'm sitting in my truck. I'm like, we're at 195 subscribers. We need to be at least at 200. At least 200 when he comes on, because that's just disrespectful.
Right.
Holy crap, dude. We're like 226. I'm like,
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way.
30% increase of what we ever watched. Yeah.
Overnight, literally. So thank you to you. All right. Well, for everybody, if people have been watching you, maybe they haven't gone back through the videos. You do share some of your life every once in a while in your videos. You actually did one the other day of kind of how the Dad Bod Veteran came to life. But I want to start a little sooner than that. There it is. Mind blown right there, Ozzy. So I do want to know, where did you end up growing up, and like where'd you go to high school, things like that?
Yeah. So I live in the South. I'm from South Carolina, but I was born in Ohio. People in South Carolina will probably just crucify me for that one too.
I was just gonna say
yeah, because I claim to be Southern on all my videos, which I am. I've been here since I was a little kid.
Right.
Went to Stratford High School here. Go Knights. There's actually my jerseys behind me.
I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, what is?
So is that 34?
No, that's
54.
Right,
you're a lineman.
He was a guard.
I was a center.
Oh,
hey, my son was a
there
center.
We go. Perfect.
Yeah,
I like it.
I was hitting my own what's more than I was getting.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I had kids after that. No, grew up here in Goose Creek, South Carolina. Joined the Navy right out of high school, which that's kind of an interesting story. We'll dive into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
And spent 9 years in the Navy, and got out after my 9 years and just stayed here at home and absolutely love it here, and not going to change it for anything. So, but
there you go.
Yeah. So, talking back to how I actually got into the military, it's a good story.
Right.
I'm obviously like to tell stories, but so I was dating this girl in high school. You guys are probably going to like this. I was dating this girl in high school. She was the most beautiful woman that I had met at the time. And
at the time,
she decided that she wanted a different life. She wanted to move away and be a model, right? And I was, really, really bummed out when she left. So I decided that I was going to get as far away as possible. There's my son on there, actually. Listen,
I didn't want to post the name, so that's why I was like, we were going back and forth. We're like,
we just eyeballed each other, like, no.
Yeah, we didn't want to post it for the name. So
we'll go. We do have an intro, so
yeah.
What's up, Squid?
Yeah.
So real quick,
yeah,
a lot of messages will pop up underneath you, and if you notice it and you want to laugh, we're not laughing at the story. I'm the one that usually laughs at the inopportune times. Yeah, man, we were taking on fire, and one of my buddies got shot. I'm like, like laughing.
There you go. Yeah. Well, you should be able to see them as well over on the side, but it can get, especially like, welcome Joey. Welcome to the show. Joey is another podcaster. He's actually a comedian too, and he's a veteran. So
yeah,
cool.
There you go. Smash the like button, people. Thank you, Joey. Thank you.
Yeah, every day's a Saturday, and then
yeah, there you go. I feel like we have the same women issue. All right, so you're chasing the most beautiful woman in the world around.
Yeah, so and she wants to go be a supermodel, and she decides she's going to leave, the area, and she's going to go off on her world. And I was just bummed out, man. I was just all over myself. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go as far away as possible, and just get her out of my head. So I joined the Navy. I go to the recruiter and I sign up and I says, hey, send me to Japan. Send me on the other side of the world, as far away so I can forget about all of this, right?
Right.
Well, for those of us who go into boot camp, or anybody who's been to boot camp, you know that you get into boot camp and you're there, and one of your best things to do is have your first phone call in boot camp. Well, so I was, I've been writing these letters to her, this girl that had left me, and telling her this whole story about how sad it is here, and how much I miss her, etc. You know the story.
Yep.
And I get my first phone call in boot camp, and I'm put the thing on there, dial the number. I actually got a hold of her, and she picks up and she's crying, and I'm like, why are you? What's going on? She goes, I'm pregnant, and I'm like, what? You're pregnant? And I was like starting to cry on the other side of the phone. I'm like, how's this possible? She's like, and it's yours. It was a graduation night thing, right? And that's my daughter, who's now 25 years old. And we had another 2 kids. One of them's in the chat right now.
Right.
Yeah. And she's still a great friend of mine. We're not married anymore, but she's
Right.
a great friend of mine, and that's why I joined the Navy. That's why. It was for no other reason than that. And it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me in my entire life. Honestly.
And you stayed in 9 years.
I did stay in 9 years. And you know what? I would have been dead in the gutter a long time ago if it wasn't for that, right?
Right.
yeah.
It gave me a purpose that, everybody who's been in the military knows that it changes you. It gives you discipline. It gives you a purpose. It helps you see the best in some things. It helps you understand how much more of a person you are than what you're actually being at that time. And it gives you a lot of resources when you get out. So best thing that could have ever happened to me was that moment. So yeah, so that's how I got in. And then of course
that is awesome. That is awesome.
It's really fluke, but the best thing that's ever happened to me. Gave me my kids, love my kids to death. They're my world. And really gave me a purpose in life. And yeah, go ahead.
I knew that statement was going to show up at some point in this chat. The one that's on the screen right now.
Oh, 500 singles go to deployment, 250 couples come back.
I knew that was
well,
coming.
Didn't we talk about that on another show of how many get married and then how many
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with Steve last week we talked about how many get married.
It depends on your ship, right? It depends on your ship. If it's a submarine, it's only 100 and then 50 come back, right? I was on carriers, so it was 5,000 and 2,500 come back.
What carrier were you on?
So I was on the George Washington, which is still an active carrier. She's a little bit older now, and I was on the John F. Kennedy, which is a now decommissioned old diesel carrier, which they're actually building the next John F. Kennedy right now. So that's weird to have been on a ship that I was on the last version of it.
Yeah.
So
that is crazy.
Maybe they'll go test. Maybe Tesla will get involved in it. Yeah, it's raining. My dad was Navy. He was on the USS Cleveland back in the day. And so so it was one of those. I always try to figure the connection, and that's.
So I'm assuming you did basic in Illinois, right?
Yeah, Great Mistakes, Illinois. That's where we all go now.
You're right.
My son got to go to Great Mistakes. Had a good time there. Then I went to Virginia Beach for my C school. I was a FC, or fire controlman, and no, those aren't the guys who put out fires in the Navy. They're the guys who cause fires. We start the fires. So they're the guys that operate the ship's weapon systems. I was a system called the NATO Sea Sparrow, which is the self-defense missile on the carriers and a lot of other ships. So our schools were in Dam Neck, Virginia, and then I was fortunate enough to get stationed in a carrier that was already in Virginia, which was the George Washington. Got on her when she was pulling out of the yards, and we went straight out and we started up our workups, did a full deployment after that workups. And then probably one of the more interesting parts of my life that took place was after we came back, we went through another yard period, and we came out of that second yard period right at the beginning of September 2001.
Wow.
Of course, we know what that time was.
Yeah.
And when we pulled out, when a carrier pulls out of the yards, they do what's called a shake. And they basically just take the ship. It's completely empty, no fuel, no ammo, nothing on it. You know, you take like 4 pairs of underwear with you because you don't expect to be out there. And they really just take the boat out and they shake it, right? They make sure that everything's going to stay on it. They make sure that the yard period went well, and you know, they know what they've still got a little bit of work to do with when they come back.
Right.
So we left on 9/10. Of course, we know what happened on 9/11. And so we were watching, you know, the events unfold on TV in our work center, the fire controlmen, all of our group. And all of a sudden the TV went blank. And then the CO came over, the 1MC, and he said, "Hey guys, we're not going home." So we went from there up to New York Harbor. And on the way to New York Harbor, we loaded up with what we call telemetry birds, which are missiles that are used normally for target practice. They don't actually have a warhead in them because we were there to defend New York Harbor against another attack. And so we sat there for about 2 weeks. In fact, there's a really famous picture, if you look on the internet, of the George Washington sitting in front of the smoke. And I was there. So that was definitely a very different and unexpected thing for me to happen in my Navy career.
Right.
So yeah, that was. So we went from there. Of course, you know what happened after that. We, you know, had a good time over there in the Persian Gulf.
How long before you were sent off there? Sorry, how long? Like you.
When I was on the George Washington, I was coming close to hitting their second deployment. And a pretty unique thing happened to me was the Kennedy was a reserve ship at that time until 9/11 happened. And when 9/11 happened, they pulled it out of reserve status and made it active status. And basically what that means was the Kennedy wasn't really well funded during the time that it was reserve, but they needed it because we're now in a wartime and we've got to push this carrier out to service. And so the Kennedy didn't have enough E5 FCs. And so they basically put out their feelers to the entire fleet and said, "Hey, if there's a E5 FC that's willing to come to the Kennedy, we'll take them." And we had too many E5s on the George Washington. So I volunteered, raised my hand. I said, "Look, Mr. Detailer, I'll make you a deal. If you send me, I'll do your Kennedy. I'll do your 1 year on the Kennedy, but you have to give me my choice of follow-on orders after that." And so the deal was I was going to come back here to Charleston after that tour was over. So I went on the Kennedy, and I actually flew and landed on the Kennedy. That was a tragic experience of its own story. Because I don't know if you've ever seen aircraft carrier landings, but it is literally a controlled crash. I mean, there's nothing fancy about it. You're strapped in, you've got your float coat on and your cranial on, and you're praying to whoever you pray to. That this thing actually lands in. Yeah, it's in one piece, right? That it comes together in one piece on the flight deck, and it feels like every bit of that, right? When you land, you feel like you just crashed. And so I spent that year on the Kennedy and got, you know, my follow-on orders back here to Charleston and did security out here, and then sailed off into the current sunset that I'm in. So
nice. Now, what kind of with landing on the Kennedy? What aircraft is it? Because I mean, obviously we see the fighter, like all the fighter jets. What aircraft's flying in, bringing you on board?
It's the mail plane.
The mail plane. Is that the one that used the net to catch it? Like you're literally caught in the net, or is that just emergency?
Listen, if they use it, if they ever use the net on a carrier, it's a really bad day. That's not supposed to be a normal landing. No, the COD is one of the propeller planes, and it just basically is there for mail delivery or any type of people coming on board, new people coming on board, people leaving the ship. It's kind of your cargo plane that can actually fit on top of a flight deck. It's not a pretty plane at all. In fact, the one that we were on, the seal didn't work on the back hatch, so the quote unquote air crew that was on there was stuffing trash bags in it to try to get it to seal, but they kind of looked at us and said, "Look, we're just going to take it as it is and ride her in." And yeah, so
it'll be what it will be.
I really don't like to fly. Let's just say that because of that experience and having been, semi-witness to 9/11, I do not like to fly.
Right.
I have a really bad situation whenever I do have to fly that I go through, and I have a process of what I do at the airport, and sitting for a certain amount of time and drinking so much water and saying so many prayers, and I have to do all these things. I have to have a window seat, because if I don't have a window seat, it's going to be bad for everybody. So, yeah, I don't fly very well because of that experience. Yeah, just a little bit of anxiety.
Yeah. Hey, I don't have that much, but I do have to have the window seat. I do I have some of those same thoughts, but I don't have. I can handle it. I just don't especially flying across country, and I'm not a small guy, so being stuck in that little sitting like this. I make sure I don't drink anything, so I don't have to get up, because I don't want to deal with any of that.
Right.
So last year when we went to vacation, that was Shonda and I, right? Alaskan Airlines, love you, Alaskan Airlines. We'll see you in a few months, right? So from San Francisco Airport to Port Canaveral the entire way. Same thing. I didn't eat. I didn't snack. I didn't.
Completely uncomfortable.
My butt cheek on a butt cheek like this. Poor Shonda was. Oh, I mean, my arm was over her. Like I said, I'm not a big guy either, or I'm not a small guy, so I feel it. I didn't have the anxiety that I thought I would, but boy.
You're right, Charles. But then when you sit in the aisle, you get hit by the cart, and it's just being
you
big.
don't see out the window. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but when I get on the airplane, I am a window licker. Planted outside of the window, because I have to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
right.
I'm looking
where am I?
Did they bolt that tight enough? Did they?
Oh, you can't look at stuff. There's stuff like this.
Heaven forbid something on the wings just going.
Mr. Pilot Man, is that supposed to be happening? I don't think that's supposed to be happening.
There's fluid dripping from the wings.
Yeah.
I almost want to tell the flight attendant. I'm like, ma'am, do you know that there's fluid dripping from the wings? Is that normal? Is that how it's supposed to be while we're doing this?
Yeah.
Because just my mind goes crazy.
There you go.
All right. Enough about flying.
Yeah, no,
I don't like it.
You guys got me all jazzed to go flying now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, John's over here. Anxiety. I love it the way you put it. I'm a window licker. That's awesome.
I'm a window licker.
Well, so you had some. I mean, you were in there during an amazing time in our history, right? And so you got to 9 years. What makes you decide that? Because we, in talking to a lot of the guys, we hear kind of once you get to your second tour, guys start talking, I could do 20, I could do, it's not a big deal. So what made you decide, all right, I'm done?
Well, so there's two things, right? Number one, there's a hump. They call it the hump, right? You either jump before the hump or you stay for 20, and that's 10 years, right? And the end of my enlistment brought me to 9 years, and I had started strategizing about getting out basically before all of this, right? 3 years ago, when I got the opportunity to get follow-on orders back to Charleston, it was always the plan to get out. And really, one of the reasons is actually in the chat right now as to why I got out.
Oh, right?
All
right. My daughter, unfortunately, I spent a lot of time away from her in some very young years, and I didn't want to do that to my sons. And so I was fortunate enough to be there for all of their birthdays, always be there for all of their footballs and all of their events that occurred in their lives. And that's because I decided at 9 years to get out. I mean, they were only 2 at that time. So it's just, my family's the most important thing I got, and always will be. And so, yeah, it wasn't really much of a choice for me. I love the Navy. I love what it did for me, but between the two of them, I'm always going to choose the family.
What's up, Jason?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what we tend to hear, that is that, there's always a lot of young families created too, right? We talked about the whole relationship
leaving for a while. So, hey, girl, how's it going?
Hey, by the way, here's your kid. I'll be back in a couple years.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I see my son actually living through a lot of the things that I went through when I was young and in the Navy. So I hope he doesn't get too mad at me for telling all these stories. But he's not. He doesn't have a family, so he can go out and do this, and I hope that he goes out and enjoys it. It's just hard when you got a family.
Yeah.
It's that first time that you pull out and you leave that pier and you realize that you're not coming back for 6 months, and then now it's like 9 months for these guys. That's a lot of time to not be back, and you're literally on a floating city or small city with these people that you're going to be stuck with for a long time, and that's tough. These guys that do it over and over, I bless them. I don't know how they do it, but I appreciate that they're doing it. And it's
them and their wives or spouses, right? If they're putting in that kind of time.
That's the hardest job in the military, is definitely the family, right? I never really appreciated it till I got older, what my ex-wife had done during that time, but that's huge. And so to all the spouses of service members and veterans, you guys really hold the load for us. So we appreciate that.
Yeah. So you already kind of had the idea that you were going to get out, right? Did you have a plan of what you were going to do?
Make as much money as possible.
Right.
I mean, that's honestly what it boiled down to, right? Is like I said, my family's always been the most important thing to me. And I was going to do whatever it took to put the best food on the table for them, right? So I started doing all the work and legwork of trying to figure out how to be a civilian and get a job and all that stuff about 2 years before I got out.
Okay.
I was working with the transition assistance people. I was going on interviews, even if I wasn't going to be, eligible for that job for another year. When I actually left and I was on terminal leave, I started the job the day I went on terminal leave, my first job out of the military, because it's a scary time for veterans, right? Or for people transitioning out, is that, there's a lot of security in the military. There's a lot of benefits that you don't get in the civilian world. And to see the end of that tunnel coming up, and it's really scary. And I was really freaked out because I had, 4 mouths to feed that all depended on me. And so I was going to do the best I could. And luckily I landed a nice job here locally. And, I've went through a couple jobs, but always that has been my premise, is right. How do I make the best opportunity for the people that depend on me? And that's always been in the forefront.
That's just awesome and straightforward.
Yeah.
I mean, if we all looked at life that and it's really a simple detail, right? But if everybody looked at it like that, then I think the world would be a little bit better off, which we learned from some of your videos, which we'll get to. So, all right. So you're in the civilian world. I know now you work in the security industry. Is that you're using your what you learned in the military? Did that help you, or did you gain new skills?
Literally like the only question I had for him. He just took it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
So sorry.
It's all good. It's like the only question I had.
You have a question?
Yeah. Well, here, we can laugh at something. I had a kid who was born allergic to oxygen.
Wow. Wow. Well, he's a Scandinavian warrior. That's what Eric means. So he's a leader.
Yeah, there you go.
Good.
There you go. You do have to keep shooting in life. So what led you into getting into the security industry? Was that just the steps you were taking and you ended up there? Or?
I kind of looked at my life, now that I'm where I'm at, is I've always been in the business, maybe not intentionally, maybe intentionally, of protecting others, right? When I played offensive line, I was a center. I protected the quarterback. When I was on the ship, I was an FC. I protected the ship, right? And then when I got out, I was in security. I protected someone else or some other asset. And I'm not saying that was like ordained or something like that, but it just seems to always fall in that. In fact, my first job out of the military was in the safety industry, working as an occupational safety specialist and then an occupational safety manager. And for anybody who knows those guys, they're a little bit off kilter as well. But I was protecting a bunch of people at a factory. That's what I was doing, and I've always seemed to fall into that. Now I'm in, the security industry, protecting people from a security perspective. But back to the question of, am I deploying the same, education and training that I was using in the military? Oh yeah. So my last tour here in Charleston is at a base called NPTU, which is the Nuclear Power Training Unit, and that's where all of the nuclear engineers in the or nuclear specialists in the Navy go to train. And there's 2 live active submarines in the water that sit there, and they have active nuclear reactors that they actually train on there.
Oh wow!
And so the security at that place is top notch, right? Because these submarines can't move; they have no defense of their own. And there's a very crack security team out there running around with M16s and 9mm and the whole 9 yards of fun toys. There purposely to just protect those, and that's how basically all the nuclear facilities are across the country. They're tight. I mean, they're really tight. Now, does that translate directly over into the civilian world? No, because we got to take it down a couple notches from where the nuclear world is. But there's a lot of the same philosophies that go along with what I was doing there that I'm applying now, right? What's the asset? How are we going to protect it? What are different modes of threats that could, hurt the asset? And those such things are the same things from the military world to the civilian.
Right. Joey, how many Homer Simpson jokes do the nuke dudes make?
The nuke guys do not make jokes. They're horrible at jokes. Nukes,
they probably take their
wet napkins.
They're very serious.
Wet napkins.
Look, listen, I love nukes for what they do. Without them and without the type of person they were, we would have blown up so many ships, because nukes, I love them. And in fact, my girlfriend's oldest son, he's on the USS New Mexico. He's a nuke. They can't think their way out of a wet paper bag. And what I mean by that is, if it's not written, if there's not a process, if there's not a document for it, they do not divert, right? And there's a reason for that, because they're playing with nukes, right? There's only one way that they're allowed to touch it and do whatever they do to it.
Right.
And if they divert from that, we all die. That's pretty much it.
Very true. Right.
So, but when it comes to their street smarts and their ability to integrate into society as a normal social human, there's some opportunity there.
Well, that's what Joey he just said. I've seen more than one claim for alopecia from he works at the VA too, so that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. All right, so we learned a little bit about you. Now it's time to talk about the now, right? And I know we have a bunch of people out there that are watching that have been fans. And
do you want to roll into a video to show them what we're going to?
Well, yeah, let's. So if we have some people who have not had the opportunity, which I don't know what rock you are hiding under, but I do want to share real quick. We're gonna share a couple videos, but I'm gonna share one that he just did recently, and some of them are stitches, right? Where
I've watched the one that he posted with us and saying that I've watched like 150 times. I'm like, that's how you tell people, hey, I'm going to be on the Contagion Effect show.
Exactly.
I'm like, this is the template that you use, and this is
we
how
so appreciate.
Yeah,
I mean, we appreciated it.
Yeah, all right.
Send it out.
I was literally showing my wife, and I was like, ah. So all right,
through my text messages, dropping the link on everyone. I'm like, dude, watch this guy. You gotta watch this guy.
There you go. All right, I'm gonna share. This is one of my favorites that actually. Yes, this
Apex,
dude is Apex. This dude is
Apex.
hilarious.
Up,
Yeah. So here you go. Let's get it going.
This is why we have global warming. They won't even turn the fans on.
Hold on. Where did our sound go? Let's stop sharing.
It's hot out.
I'm not sure why our sound. It even showed for sound being there.
So while Mike's trying to figure that out, what's the process?
No, that wasn't on you.
How long of a timeline do you have when you're doing a video?
Okay, so the way that it works, and I'm going to tell you some dirty secrets about social media, especially the video making. Right, there's short form videos, and then there's long form videos, right? And depending on which one you're doing is depending on what the right site is for that. So I'm trying to play in this happy space in the middle between short and long form. Most of my videos are going to be over a minute long, because that makes me more eligible on YouTube. And that's really where I'm trying to go, is to help with YouTube. And TikTok has really started to adapt that. So we're really looking at the 1 minute plus mark.
That's about the norm, right?
Like 4. TikTok really doesn't like it. So.
Yeah. And I think you have that good mix, because the some where you stitch and then you jump on it and be like, the one that gets me is like, what? What?
Well, let's see if we can get it this time. So
this is why we have.
Do you hear it?
Warming. They won't even.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
They don't even.
I've got it.
All right.
It's hot out. Turn the fan on.
What Greta Thunberg are you talking about? Do you not think before you record something? At least take a moment just to see if it makes sense? I know that in my time, if I did not think before I spoke, something would be propelled towards the side of my head very, very fast. I had to choose my words carefully, so I was not to spew out these insanities into this world. I don't know if we're going to make it. For our international friends, those of you outside of the United States, when you hear us talk like this, how does it make you feel? Do you think less of us, or are we already that far down? There's no saving us. Driver, could you please stop this world? I want to get off. Thank you.
This is why we have global warming. They won't
dude.
So great.
Driver.
That is so great. Yeah. That's what and it's things like that just absolutely got me. I mean, like what in the Greta Thunberg. I mean,
well, and then we're right here in the valley.
Right.
Next door we have the bay and we have a million.
So we literally have farms of those things, right? And huge ones. And then actually where Eric works, which we can't share the company, but their company has two huge. I mean, they're
Emma and Kathy.
Yeah, they got names.
They're named. I didn't even know their names until someone posted a picture on them.
Absolutely huge. So, so yeah. I mean, that's just a glimpse of what the Dad Bod Veteran brings to. I mean, for me, you're bringing something to society. Like I think. Sorry, there goes my security. My security alarm just went off. So
well, it's a little break, right? It's a 1 minute break to out of reality, but yet you're out of reality, and it's literally reality. It's like this is literally who we walk amongst this earth with,
right?
And you're like, wait, no, wait, what?
And
Greta Thunberg.
There's so many other videos. We'll share some more, but I know Eric, you kind of touched on like what. How do you build these stories, right? But I do want to start with, I know you just shared it and I don't want to do it that way. I want you to tell the story, but where did the Dad Bod Veteran come from? Like what started these videos? What started this process?
Again, another story. So I've been playing around on TikTok for like 3 months last year. And I was just doing stupid stuff, and most of them I've taken down. But if you go really deep into my archives, and you're a friend of mine, you can actually see all of them. But I was looking for a niche, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, my son, who was already, I knew he was going to join the military. He decided because of an incentive bonus that he got that he was going to leave early. And it was unexpected. He was supposed to leave in August. He ended up leaving in June. He actually went in the military faster than I did. And I went in 2 weeks after I graduated. So he literally went in less than a week after he graduated from high school.
Wow.
Amen. Kudos to that kid. That was fast.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, wow. So he had left and he was my last. And between me and my girlfriend, we have 5, right? So all of a sudden we are big time empty nesters, right? And like I said, my kids and my family are my life. And I'm now approached with a situation of I don't know what to do with my life, right? The empty nest syndrome. And I never thought it was going to be this bad, but it was horrible. I mean, I was depressed. I was like, what am I going to do with these days? Or do I even need these days?
Right.
A lot of that thinking too. And so I started to try to, frame it up like, well, okay, what do I got to look forward to? Well, hopefully one day I'll have grandchildren. Now, out of the 5 kids, I'm probably saying I've got about 2 that are good chances of getting grandchildren for me. One of them is a rickshaw. He's more like a 50%er. Max, he's probably my best shot. I'm putting him in the 90s.
Are you saying that because he's in the comments, or you just
come on, kid?
Soon. he's doing the right thing. He's taking his time. But yeah, so I started thinking about, my grandkids, and then and I haven't told anybody this part, but my dad died when I was 17. Oh, wow. And he never got to tell me the stories of his life, right? And so I was like, well, crap. Me and my brother had always had this competition. Neither of us thought we were going to make it to 40 because my dad was 39 when he passed. So we always had this competition of, who's going to die before they hit 40. And then we both hit 40 and we're like, well, crap, now we're on extra innings.
Now what are we going to do?
Yeah. What do we do now? Because I've actually lived my life like I was going to die at 40. And now all of a sudden I'm going to pay a bunch of bills because of the fact that I live like that.
I know one guy that sells off all his stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have cancer. Oh man. He sues the hospital.
Exactly. That's literally how we live. So, but I never understood a life like that. So I started thinking about, wouldn't it be cool if I could tell the stories to my grandchildren? And how would I tell those stories to my grandchildren? What would it be like? And I've got this beautiful front porch, and I used to sit on this front porch, and I used to think about this stuff all the time. And I said, yeah, okay. So then I tried one TikTok, was the very, very first one in the voice, which was the pizza delivery before GPS. How did they deliver pizzas before GPS? And that was the very first one I ever did in this voice. And it went wild. It went insanely wild. And I'm like, okay, well, let me try another one. So then I tried another one in the voice. And always in the background, I'm thinking about there's a little kid sitting there listening to this story. Mm-hmm. First of all, of course, it's got to be clean. I'm not going to tell my grandkids any dirty stories. But it also has to be in the context of a way that's attractive to them, right? And that's really how he was Dad Bod the Wise, but now he's pretty much just the Dad Bod Veteran. That's how he's matured, and he's always been in the perspective of trying to pass on this knowledge that he has from his time to the people and the children of the next generation, so that hopefully they can learn something and not repeat the mistakes of the generations past. And we've got the stitches and the kind of the reactions to a lot of this stuff, but again, it's just a reaction of somebody from that period of time, and how most of us probably think anyway. It's just we don't know how to actualize it and verbalize it like that. And it's kind of fun to take myself and put my mind into that thought process and have that ability to be creative, because honestly, if I'm using my normal self, I'm never going to talk like that. I won't. Right. It's him. It's Dad Bod the Wise, or the Dad Bod Veteran, that gives me that channel to be able to talk like that. And now I've got, 500 plus videos for my grandkids that are floating around on the internet, and everybody knows who the Dad Bod Veteran is. And, if my grandkids ever actualize, then they'll be like, that's your granddad. Watch all his videos. You'll understand how the world's supposed to be.
And it's
teaching without teaching.
You are so right in the fact of the way you say it. And I would never conceptualize it in my mind of some of the things that you've done. And it's just, that's what's so beautiful about it. It's just so natural. And even with the voice, that's where I was like, okay, he's saying Dad Bod Veteran. He does not have that voice. And that's why I had to go track down, like, there's got to be a video with the English speaking voice, the normal voice. So
but what was it? Not the first 2 seconds or 5 seconds drinking from the hose.
Yeah. Oh, just all of just some of the reactions or
like I said, it's one of those things where you're hanging on the word, because the way he describes things too, it's like he's using all the SAT words, right? Just the way that it's brought
he's using all the big words.
Yeah, like, oh shit. I was literally before I left the house, I'm thinking how I could describe things. I'm like, yeah, no, man, this dude's got on point.
As Eric just knocked his TikTok video down. He just blew it all up. The one I first saw, I thought he thought he was lip syncing.
Well, that's actually something I do.
There you go, man. Dad Bod Veteran showed up, or Dad Bod the Wise. So I love, the story is just great. And that's what got me, is especially once you started doing a couple of the videos and you explained the story behind it, it got me. So, we saw your son comment. What do they think about this?
So it's kind of funny. Initially, they're like, "Dad, you're crazy. Stop it. Just stop. Just immediately no. Immediately no." But then, of course, it turned. Max, especially Max, he pays attention to Bill the most and probably interacts with me the most on him. And he's like, "I hate you. I really hate you." I go, "Why?" He goes, "Because I've got like my chiefs and stuff that watch you. I've got like, all my friends watch you and they're telling me and I'm like, I don't care. Just I hate you. Stop it."
Did you see what your dad posted?
Dad,
That was hilarious.
Your dad, the Dad Bod Veteran.
What? Dude, that's your dad? Yeah, it's kind of like that. I mean, he's joking about the "I hate you" part, but
right.
It's fun. It's fun. It's really fun to interact with, and see the reactions from all these people and just see how they feel about it, how much it relates to all of them. I mean, oh my God, I cannot believe that this many people shared the same experience of growing up just like that for everything. It's like global. People in Australia, people in England, New Zealand.
Yeah, UK, everywhere. I mean, so real quick, and I don't want to bring it down because the energy's good.
Can't believe you guys were eating lion, dude. The lion meat was hilarious. Guys, can you see what they're selling now in our stores?
Yes, we're overwhelmed with lion meat.
Okay, and I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna put it back up as far as if you have not had a chance to get on TikTok and follow the Dad Bod Veteran, you can follow him on TikTok. You follow him on YouTube. Go follow the Dad Bod Veteran because you will understand some of these comments. The lion meat one,
the lion meat,
just absolutely.
And because that I work for a grocery store, that's hilarious because you're like, you see what the world are we?
Max just wishes he was as cool. So you must know Cortland.
Yeah,
that's his girlfriend.
Oh,
nice.
Real men eat lion meat raw. Oh, just that's what's so great and entertaining is you are teaching. I mean, teaching some of these people.
Oh, for sure. That's what we're saying. That's
social skills. It's just amazing. And I do want to say it since we have you on here. We'll watch a couple others. Just the bummer is for some reason the audio the audio's not coming through to us, but I'm glad
we're
it's getting out
reading
to
it
everybody else.
as it's being posted.
Yeah, we're reading it, so we're cheating a little. But I want to sit there and laugh because they're hilarious. Even though I'm gonna play one more. Hopefully I can find it real quick.
$1 a day is the $1 a day one.
Well, the $1 a day
the one
is hilarious, but
people being born now are going to be 3,000.
Oh yeah,
3,000.
The math. All right, I'll play that. I'll
play
that one.
I'll
play that one. So, well, if you have not watched these, it's literally life changing to watch some of his videos.
You should just subscribe, get the notification when it comes on. Just take a minute of your day. It'll be the best. Well, it'll be good. It'll be the best minute of your day for some people.
Here, let's.
Did anybody else realize that children born this year in 2023 will potentially live to see the year 3,000?
I need help. I once again tried to do the math. Many different devices on a calculator, on a computer. I even searched the internet for one of the automatic calculators. But numbers in. I can't get to that number. Not that I think that I'd actually wanted it that long. I don't know if anyone would, but at some point, we have to recognize that there's a pattern here. I don't know if it's the children's fault. I actually don't know whose fault it is. All I know is I feel like we have to recognize there's an old way of doing things, there's a new way of doing things, and they don't match at all. And at some point, it's going to come to a head and be a problem for all of us. I see a light at the end of the tunnel, but I'm afraid it's a train.
And you know what makes it even better? Us getting to watch it like this.
Yeah.
The facial expressions are just absolute. And I don't know if that's what looks so natural is the facial expressions that go along with it. Like,
You have a special request.
It's not me though. It's him. I hate to say it like that because it makes me sound like I'm schizophrenic or something. But it's a little bit. It's close. It's on the fringe. I put myself in his shoes, right? Like, how would he react to this and all that stuff? And that's what makes it. Honestly, that's what makes it. He's a good guy.
I gotta. Okay, so Max just requested, and I gotta find where it is. So. Let me try to find that while we talk. Is it labeled? Is it labeled boot camp?
Oh, I don't know.
I wonder. We'll have to. I wish I would have got that together because Max helped me out, man. Is it labeled boot camp or? Because I definitely want to find it because I just everything. I just can't. I look forward to. I don't get much time. I can't even talk right now. I don't get much time extra nowadays because I started a new job and then I have my side hustles, so I get less time on TikTok. So I look forward to when I see one of your videos. It's just like, oh my goodness, it's so relaxing.
All the time when you're sitting on the toilet. When you're out back, just staring at the woods, I'm here for you. Okay? Whenever you have a moment, just yeah.
I wonder.
I love you've thought that you've thought about it at that.
How many TikToks?
I'm on the toilet with people.
Yeah. How many TikToks have been watched on the?
Oh, I'm sure.
Or made sitting there. Oh, I'm gonna do this real quick.
That's where I find my stitches. That's where I find my stitches is on the toilet.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
you go to get up, your toes are numb, your legs are weak, and you can't walk out the bathroom. You're falling over.
We can literally. I mean, I could just play your videos all night long, and we could create a whole show from it. But it's your video. It's just. My goodness.
So you're going to get a bunch of interview requests.
Yeah,
now.
you're probably going to get hit up for some more podcasts.
Yeah, this one here, this is a good one.
Cool.
With Dawn.
I'm all about it.
Yeah, well, you need to adjust your schedule next time and not do an interview whenever we start at 6:00 West Coast time.
Yeah.
All right, Double D.
Yeah.
Got you, bro. Welcome to the show.
That's funny. So talking about the one that Irvin made.
Oh, that's the one. He's talking about the one where he came home from boot camp in the airport. That's the one he's talking about. That's an older one. So basically, his buddies had decided that they were going to surprise him when he came home from boot camp in the airport.
Oh boy,
he didn't know anything about it.
Oh,
and they had a sign. And I can't remember what was on the sign. It was something like "Welcome home from jail" or something like that. It was the best. But it was and his buddy Irving actually made a TikTok of it and he posted it and I duetted it and actually used my real voice because I was like that was some cool guy love for his buddies to stay up late and go get him out of his whites and bring him home. And of course they probably went out drinking after that, but that's what sailors do. I mean,
so I didn't even ask the youngest one, Navy as well, or
Yeah. So her oldest is he's a nuke. Nick, he's a nuke in the Navy on the New Mexico, and my youngest is he's what we call a striker. For those of you who know what a striker is, but he's working with the deck department on the Truman.
Nice.
Yeah, another carrier. So he's living the carrier life too.
When I think I told you when we talked the last time, my youngest is actually looking at going in the Marines, so he's been working out on Tuesdays because he wishes he could get out, but he was a center, right, for the football team. So he doesn't and he's like 5'9", and yes, they were state champions. We won state.
Nice.
But he is 5'9", but he's like 240. And center, you can't be, usually you can't be playing at 180, and he's got to get down to 180, 190 in order to get a ship date. So
well, just let him know the Navy will take him at 240.
Well, even the Navy was probably the most aggressive with him. He's like, I don't want anything to do with the water. I don't want to go on a ship. I don't want to do any of that. So
does he know that the Marines go in the water, right?
That's
why they're called the Marines.
I've told him, and that they're
it's in the name, right? It's in the name.
He just thinks he's not going to have
He
to.
needs to join the army.
No, he definitely knows
attached
not
to a
army.
ship too. You know that. He knows that, right? He could be attached to a ship.
Yeah,
There's Marines on ships.
I've
In fact,
told him.
There's a whole set of Marine-specific ships that's nothing but Marines and like 50 sailors.
That just as a civilian,
Because
again,
we talked about the Air Force thing, right?
Yeah,
And
I'm like, so the Marines have like jets and all that. So I thought, and in my world, I'm like, just the Air Force has jets, but everyone's got jets. Like Oprah. You want a jet?
Here's the better joke, right? Is that the Marines are part of the Department of the Navy. So their paycheck says Department of the Navy for the Marines. So even if he wants to not be in the Navy, he's in the freaking Navy.
Yeah, no, I know
that's
that.
what they've got over the Marines. So the Navy.
Oh yeah, that's
so all this bashing
that's why
about.
There's all the drama. Yeah,
see,
that it is.
Yeah,
that's
like
why.
it.
You know what the Marines do? They do what the Navy doesn't want to. We do not want to get off our boat unless we're going to drink. So that's why we invented the Marines.
But wait, the Marines were invented in a bar. The Marines were invented in a bar.
Men's department.
Yeah. Men's department.
No, we're not saying we don't have nothing against it.
We don't have anything against Army guys.
No.
We love everybody. We just enjoy the banter between all the services. That's the fun part for us is getting
Apex.
to enjoy it.
See how many hats I wear? I wear so many different hats. I'm gonna have to go check out.
Well, now we got to get on.
Oh no,
on
that's
the Dad Bod Veteran.
I'm gonna have to get some headgear.
So there we go.
Dude, that's a dope hat. Though. I love the
Apex
patch.
Predator,
I like
there
the
you go.
patch. Like I like this one with
that's the stuff right there.
Yeah, I like this is Demons Behind Me, which is kind of it's a play for me because at work there's a couple guys that are behind me in seniority that are MFers, and so I always make sure that they see that whenever they're behind me. That's the only reason, literally the only reason I bought the headgear.
That's
but
hilarious. I do want to highlight. So we have Dad Bod Veterans his link tree up. Go check it out because we have his TikTok. He has his TikTok, his YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and he did launch the store now. So you can get some gear, some hats, right? Yeah. So looking forward to the growth of that and where that goes. Did you freeze or are you just being really still?
That's that country.
It's that country internet.
Wi-Fi.
That country internet. Look at my man. He froze. We don't even hear him. Oh no. That's all right. We'll go through the Marines found it in a bar because that's the only way we get on a ship drunk.
Where do we pick?
You there, John?
Maybe we'll jump out and jump back in.
Where do you pick up merch? So for Dad Bod, yeah, there he goes. He'll come back in. So for Dad Bod, go to the link tree there, and you can actually there's a link to his store. So go check it out. I believe even if you go to his TikTok and you actually go to the profile,
profile has his
it'll have the link tree there too, so you don't have to feel like you have to type it in. Let's go see. No one wants to mess with. We need to go find all these while John finds his way back in.
Yeah, I got your banner.
His internet may have dropped off. He does live out in the middle of the country, so let's go see if I can find one of those other videos. Do you have one that you really like? It has to be near the top though, because it's kind of hard to find them, and I got to pay attention to what we got going on right now. Yeah. So
we'll just.
Oh, here's the doing the math one.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and we'll share doing the math. And I really wish this would play in our video. So yeah, so that it would share with us. So we're gonna show the math, another math one that's absolutely hilarious.
What is 33 plus 77?
1100.
No.
What's 77 plus 33?
That's gonna be 105.
No.
77 plus 33.
100 and
sharing another one.
20. What?
don't know.
About what's 77 plus 33?
What's 77? 77 plus 33 is 110. There you go. I get it. Yes. Thank you, Lord. Things that concern me in this video, and I don't know which one is worse. First, there's only one person that got this question right. Second, that person looks like they could be a Gen X. Does that mean children can't do the math in their head?
What is 33 plus 77?
It's the concerned look of, oh man,
we're doomed. We're doomed.
Well, the first time, like, I just love the first, after the first 1100. What? 77 plus 33, 11, and you're all no. Like, that was hilarious. Hilarious. We got. You came back louder.
Am I better? Do you hear me?
You just heard some background whine, like some background noise. Is
that better?
Back.
There you go.
There you go. A little bit better there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh heck no. You Apex, you got to go. You literally just got to spend some time watching Dad Bod Veteran.
Go deep. Just go deep.
You do. That's good old Common Core math. He's so right. They didn't have paper to write 77 plus 33 because, 7 and 3. I mean, it's so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You do. Yeah. There's a little bit of feedback whine still. So I don't know where that's coming from.
Well, we can check it.
I'll turn. I don't want to turn him down too low.
No.
But it's something with his mic, but it's all right. Well,
it's my internet. I didn't pay my bill.
Yeah, I know. Well, we were talking and you just sat there and I'm like, he's frozen. Yeah, he's very still right now. I'm like, I think we lost him.
Yeah, if you see Julie's comment, we lost internet. That's the Mrs. Dad Bod or Mrs. Veteran, however.
There you go.
Nice.
Well, we appreciate her too for letting you join us.
Oh, for sure. I mean, 9 o'clock back. Well, it was 9 when we started.
It was 9 when we started. So this would be somebody I could talk to all night, but unfortunately he's got a life. I have a question.
Yeah.
Behind you have a guitar.
I have a couple. I have a few.
Okay, so you got one. So is that another little thing you do?
Yeah, in fact, there's one of those TikToks where I did the Johnny Cash. That was actually me playing.
Okay.
The Hurt. I was playing Hurt. And it was a joke, right? It was a how do you feel after you turn 40? And then it was Hurt. I hurt myself today.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask Apex, do you guys carry beer? I'll have to go on your website and check it out. I know it's outfitted. But can we get some beer care?
Yeah, I mean, you do.
No, we had a couple, and one of them just kind of closed shop.
Yeah,
it was
but I think he's asking because Dad Bod has a nice beer, and dude, your coloring is
perfect.
Like super cool in it anyway. Like
I used to have a little darker.
It's all going great.
It's a 23 and a 19-year-old, so
yeah,
that's what that is. There's literally in our.
This is 5. This is 25 all the way down to 18.
Yeah. See.
Wow.
Yeah. So in the hallway, we have these pictures of family pictures like everyone does.
Right.
And so the youngest, so Camille, who has just jumped in a little bit ago, she took the label maker and she put on there, no gray, lots of gray. Like literally labeled on the picture.
With the label maker? It sounds like Cammy.
Like seriously?
Yeah, Julie likes to pull the pictures out, and she likes to do the same thing. She's like, look how dark your hair was in this picture. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, you had a beard, but it was black. It was all black, and it was only like 2 years ago.
Right.
That's great.
Well,
yeah, thanks, Nana. Here's Mom. Mom's chiming in.
Yeah.
White.
So the porch, does it wrap all the way? I mean, your porch is sick. Like
there's one for a long time. In fact, I'm gonna get a drone here soon, and I'm actually gonna do a porch tour where I'm gonna fly the drone so everybody can see the whole porch. Because it is massive. I hate to say it, but we bought this house for that porch.
I bet.
Oh, it's dope.
66 feet long and 10 feet deep. It is a southern porch like you wouldn't believe. There are 4 ceiling fans on that thing. It is a monster. Yeah. And there's another video in there that talks about one of the pieces of furniture there. It's called a joggling board. for those who are from the South, they'll know what that is. But it's just basically a giant long board that you sit in, and it's from the old days. It was for arthritis and all kinds of other stuff. Yeah,
you're getting called out. I'm sorry, you're getting called out.
I know. So we might have to have a performance impromptu.
Right. So we've got guitars for vets.
Right.
Taylor came on the show and shared a bunch of stuff for us. And then last week we had the surprise.
Yeah, we had Steve, who was a Marine, and we saw a guitar in the background.
We called him out on it,
and then all of a sudden he started
playing a little bit for us.
There'll be no singing. I promise you that.
A few chords.
Look, you already did.
I do my best singing when I'm drinking and playing Rock Band with my children. Okay, and that is a sight to behold. I will tell you that.
Oh, can't wait for that TikTok.
Yeah.
There will also not be a TikTok on that
one.
Julie, make it happen.
Hey, so I'm gonna do it right now, and I'm gonna help out Steve. So the Contagion Effect is on the road in September 9th. In Ashland, Nebraska. It's called Hero Stock 2023. Nice. So this is going to end up being a 2-day event next year. We've already kind of talked about that, but yeah, a bunch of different people are coming together, and we're going to give back to veterans and raise awareness and have a good old, basically it's a backyard barbecue, and people are going to bring their guitars and their music out and have a big old shindig.
Tom, we'll have you back on so you can play them spoons and talk to the goats, whatever it may be.
Hey,
Max said it is a really bad scene that we probably don't want to see. So
you don't.
Look at TikTok live drinking night.
Yes.
Here's Dad Bod. Yes. Here's Dad Bod Wasted Veteran.
No, wait, I got a story to tell you about all this. This is funny what Max is talking about. So Nick comes home, the sailor, the oldest sailor, comes home, and me and Nick start drinking. Right, we're drinking on the back porch, and we got a pool. We end up in the pool singing sea shanties, doing choreographed underwater dancing together.
Yes.
And lo and behold, yes. Max shows up a little bit later, right? Me and Nick are a couple in already, and he starts pounding away like a champ. We're trying to keep up with the elder sailors that are involved in this situation. And so we go in the house, and we're going to get ready to play Rock Band, because that's what we do when we drink. We play Rock Band. And so there's a picture that Julie has of me passed out on the couch with the microphone on my chest, and Nick is passed out on the floor, face down, holding the guitar in one hand. And Max is upstairs. And he painted the wall. And if you know what I mean, he painted the wall.
Yeah.
So he comes down and goes, everything's fine. I'm going to clean it up. Everything's going to be okay. So obviously Max was he took the brunt of this situation. And it was definitely, we won't be publicizing that any further.
You just did, but hey, we'll take it. Julie, send all pictures to the Contagion Effect email.
Awesome.
That is great.
Yeah.
Now you talked a little bit about some drinking. We have a really tough question for you that we usually like to ask near the end of the show. We may not be done yet, but when you and Julie are kind of end of the night, TikToks are out of the way, life's slowed down, what's your go-to drink?
I'm a tequila guy.
Really?
100%. I mean, not the cheap stuff.
You get the sipping stuff.
I've got Casa Noble, Añejo, and Don Julio Añejo. Those are my go-to on ice.
I love it.
I had to put it up, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to put that up. That is
great.
Oh,
that was golden. That was golden.
Oh.
Tequila. Have we had tequila before?
No, I don't think anybody said they sipped tequila.
Back 61 episodes. That must have been early, maybe.
Tequila when it's good, when it's smooth over ice. Oh.
Yeah. See, so I've tried to get away from beer, which my beer is always going to be a go-to, but like I'm trying to venture into the tequila, and I'm like, okay, Añejo.
I mean,
dude, I know that I like that style, but I might have to try over ice. So sipping tequila.
Hey, that may be a TikTok, is you explaining to the younger generation that there's actually different kinds
you
of
don't have
tequila.
to shoot everything.
Yeah.
You can sip
and you
it
don't
on the
slam,
porch.
you don't slam the Jose Cuervo.
If you have to slam it, it's horrible. If you have to slam it, and if it burns, it's horrible. It shouldn't burn. Shouldn't burn.
It's smooth. That's the nice thing.
Yeah.
1942.
I'm not a huge fan, but I will drink that over something else because I know it'll be nice and smooth and it's easy to drink. Tierra Noble.
Haven't tried that one yet.
Triple T.
And by the way, I know I'm probably going to make some people mad, and I hope that The Rock is not listening, but I am not a fan.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was. Well, even the Clooney one, I'm kind of like, I mean,
the Clooney one's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not.
Again,
I wouldn't seek it out. I wouldn't seek it out.
Yeah.
And I agree with your comments, so I'm right there with you. So if we lose people, oh well, you weren't meant to be here.
Casamigos.
Yeah. Casamigos, girl. Yeah.
That's
okay, Julie, what beer? Well, you guys are in
what beer, Julie?
South
What beer?
Carolina, right? Yeah.
Oh, well, she's a dark. She's an Oregon girl, so she's a Deschutes. She came from Bend, Oregon.
Deschutes. Hey, so my favorite is Ninkasi. Like that's my favorite. That's the one in Eugene.
That's in Oregon, right?
Oh, so Ninkasi's like my favorite. That's The missus actually they do baked oysters. I know that's not a beer, but baked oysters. Like she's like, oh, these are good. So we went to the brewery, Ninkasi.
See, and I'm just
hops.
you can't see it with my stupid background, but I'm a wine guy.
He's a
we're wine people too. We're wine people too. It just depends on the day or the meal. It depends on the meal.
Oh, the meal has everything to do with it.
Yeah.
The meal does have everything that's what we have a wine business on the side where we sell wine. And we do custom labels.
Thank you, AnJEllakWines.com. Thank you for supporting the Contagion Effect.
He pimps my businesses out. I just don't talk a lot about it.
I apologize. I forgot to today.
Yes. Christopher, he is SC born and raised, right?
Well, no.
That's right. Nope.
You can claim it though.
He pretty much claims it.
Yeah, I was there since I was 5. I consider myself SC native. We'll say it that way.
Little Irish, yeah.
I can't do prosecco. It's too.
Ooh, that's too sweet.
Yeah. What's up, Olivia? This is fun. Thank you. And Dad Bod Veteran just makes it even better because the stories are amazing. I would share the videos all night. I'm just really frustrated the fact that we can't hear it because
we have to read the list.
I want to enjoy it with but I could see on the math one where he's on no.
no, and also no. But it's great because then the comments will start going LOL and laugh, and then we can laugh,
Right.
Oh,
Spartanburg.
Big and little.
No, what's crazy is today I actually got a call from South Carolina and I was like, I don't think he had my phone number. So I answered it and then it ended up being spam. So
and it's always funny on the day of shows, you're like, okay, check the email in the morning when I get up at 1:30. Okay, check it. Okay, no cancellation.
Yeah.
And then go through the morning and then like, okay, no. Then they get a text from like, hey, so I'm like, oh no. We've had that before. We've had like the day of, we're scrambling. But no, it's great.
Thank you, Charles. We appreciate it. We're just a small show, and we love talking to guys like John and having veterans join us because they have amazing stories. I don't think people realize a lot of the veterans and what they're doing after their service. So and that's what's been great about having. When I came across the Dad Bod Veteran, I was just so excited. I'm like, please just answer my email. Please.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Definitely going to answer your email.
Yeah, well, you'd be surprised.
I like it.
I like the video you did the other day where you showed your head, the hair. that just reminded me of that. That was hilarious. But man, so appreciate the content that you put out because I as I've said it before, it's genuine.
Yeah,
it's real. Those of us, it's real. Other than, but we won't say what's not.
No, it's one of those things.
It's genuine. Like the message is genuine because
it's everything that we want to say. But yet he's got this platform. He's like, hey, listen, man, we're in a world of hurt.
Right.
Like people need to realize 33 plus 77.
Well, you see all those TikToks with the math where they ask what's 76 plus 24 and the amount of kids.
How many days in the year?
That one's annoying.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question. So what is the one, I phrase it a different way, but what's the one takeaway? Like, what's the one message you want to get out there to people? It doesn't have to be serious. It can be a joking thing, but what's the one message that you really want to get out there across your media?
About anything?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the first thing to say is you can do anything. There's nothing special about me, right? I am a local guy. I'm an Air Force brat when I grew up, and I went through the Navy, and I've lived a life, and I've done things, but there's nothing unique about me. I tell stories, and there's no reason that anybody can't do this, right? All it takes is some commitment, some dedication, some time, and the ability to evolve what you have and make it better every time.
Mm-hmm.
With that concept in mind, there is nothing in this world, not TikToks, not YouTubes, not building cars, not being, president of the United States. Hopefully somebody can be better. There's nothing that any individual in this world can't do. That's kind of my perspective and what I tell my kids too. Nothing they can't do. That's my biggest takeaway.
And
Awesome.
and I do appreciate that comment you made in between. I won't highlight it any more than you already said it, but I do appreciate it. So with that, Eric, you have any other questions?
Nah, man.
Man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on. I said we kind of made I jumped into the fanboy thing right when we met you.
Oh, dude.
It was
the phone call. Dude, did you see the email? Have you been on the email? Did you see the email? Did you see it? And then when the video came out, he goes, bro, again, for us, man, we appreciate it. Again, Mike and I are not veterans, but this is our platform. This is our give back, right? Mike's dad was in the Marines. My dad was in the Navy. And again, everybody in the comments appreciate it so much. We appreciate what you do. And it's that 1 minute a day that we can get out and just kind of let your mind
decompress and laugh. And
yep.
It's not even just the laugh. It's the connection to the story, because you are part of Gen X, and that you got the one guy that always comes after Gen X, the one guy that about drinking out of the water hose. And then I guess he must have got attacked because he's like, why is all of Gen X attacking me?
We're actually friends. Him and I are actually friends. We've talked a lot on the side, and he's like, man, I slipped up. I was like, no, dude, it's cool. Don't worry. I got your back. I'll take care of you.
Yeah, no. And you totally, you said some great things about it. So it's just enlightening, right? And I hope you redo the remote one, or some of the things, and I'll continue watching because I appreciate it. Now, the videos for you, I know it's about telling the story, but what does it do anything else for you? Like, once you get done with the video, do you feel like, oh man, that actually felt good, or
it's therapeutic, man. It is
right.
Seriously therapeutic to just be able to be creative and be like that. And really the thing that inspires me the most, honestly, is this: listening to people say how much they love it, listening to the comments, engaging in the comments. I try to answer almost every email that I can.
What's that look like? Just to be honest, what's that look like? I mean, now
that I'm on all 4 platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, and that's why it wasn't a shot about answering the email. It's just, I can imagine with your viewership, you probably get hit up with just a lot of weird stuff. Probably
there's a little bit of weird stuff, yeah.
And then just overwhelmed with stuff. So for us to fall through the crack, I could understand. It doesn't mean,
but I mean, I started out as a 0 follower show, right? Just like everybody else does. So why would I not try to give everybody the same opportunity that I wish I would have had when I was coming up, just to have somebody talk to me or whatever. And there were some bigger guys that I talked to and I've become friends with, and they've helped me through all this stuff. There's a guy, just another Varney. He's Jim Varney.
Mm-hmm.
You remember him? Well, there's a guy that looks just like him. And he acts like him, and he does all the
talks like him, doesn't he?
And he talks like him and everything. Him and I are really close. We've really kind of talked through and developed each other and helped each other. And that's the really cool thing. But the point is like, we're a community, right? We on, podcasts and TikTok and all the socials, we're a community, and the veterans are another community.
Mm-hmm.
We got to band together because it's the way that we're going to help bring each other up. There's nothing special about me. There's nothing special about anybody who starts with zero. It's just committing to it and keeping it running and bringing it up. And whoever can help along the way, if I can help you guys, if somebody else bigger can help me, if, you know, whatever, that's what we're supposed to do. This isn't, none of us are great. I hate to say it, but none of us on this app are great. We're not. We're not special. We're not unique. We're just people, and we got to help each other and bring each other up.
I appreciate that, because we've actually, even in our show, we came across somebody local who said, "Oh, well, you guys don't have enough followers," and we're like, and then his car was broken into like a week later.
I have no idea.
And he
I'm just saying, I don't know what to say. I'm just saying,
he himself didn't even like have that many followers, and we were like, come on, man, like we're just trying to all get along. And the beautiful thing is, I think, and what we found is the veteran community is so much more like,
dude, they
so open,
big time.
Yeah, and we're very open to the fact and honest that neither one of us served. Both of our dads served. Eric's dad actually committed suicide.
Yeah,
you know, like 4 or 5 years ago.
I mean, he had some medical issues, you know, being in the Navy, and so just that ego kind of got in the way. Well, I don't want to say got in the way, but just being a military guy, and he just felt, you know, he needed to do what he had to do, and you know, I would think about him every single day. But it's just one of those things where you're like, I mean, all the way to Arizona, I was pissed. I was pissed, you know, and then you get sad, then you get happy, then you realize that if I can turn that into what we've got going on here, and with Mike, with the help of Mike, it's just, dude, it's amazing. It is amazing. Mike does such a good job on our social media and getting things set up. I can do a little bit of things, but Mike does such a good job. You know, we're getting ready to drop a new logo, and I'm like, okay, that looks cool. Like, hey, look at mine. And he's like, oh yeah, well, check this out. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll check this out. No, you did, but he's like, oh well, I'm gonna make it energized. I'm like, okay, that's doper. That's doper.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate you having that thought process, and you know, and it shows in your videos.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. I mean, again, you know, like you said, we all start at zero. Do we want the 100,000 followers and all that? Oh, absolutely. It'd be awesome.
Of course we all do.
For the fact that we get our message out there, right? I mean, we have this platform for you guys. Like,
but in my opinion, it's not 100,000 followers. It's connecting with 100,000
right,
people.
Yeah.
It's people enjoying a similar message, a similar set of content, interacting about that content, and reverberating it, vibrating it through the rest of the world. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, connection. It's a connection.
Well, and we've been lucky enough. We've had a lot of organizations. You know, we all know the 22 number, right? Whether it's real, we don't know if it's. A lot of us think it's bigger than 22 a day that are taking their lives, but we've had some great guests, and Tom, who was commenting earlier, we actually just started. We're starting the nonprofit, but we just launched the clothing line for SitRep 22. And that's his brand, because we want to put together a technology that, again, kind of what you're speaking to. You know, my feeling is the digital world now, in this age, we're making the world smaller so we can connect to people a little easier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if we can get to those veterans going through, you know, it sounds like, you know, you didn't share if you had hard times. I'm sure you did. You said you did have some hard times, but we've talked to guys who were like, yeah, I was ready to just take my life.
Oh,
and, you know, they go through some stuff. So
there's so many people that know I'm not even gonna...
All right. Well, I could keep you here all night, but it is already 10:30 there.
Yeah.
So, and
I'm here for you guys however long you want me.
Oh, I just don't
today
want
only. I won't be there tomorrow.
Come on, man.
Well, here's
I thought you were a becking call now.
We'll make this promise. So every 10 episodes or so, we do a forum, right? And we bring on 4 or 5 guests that we've had in the past. And then we just kind of spitball, right? And so we're actually having one coming up on the 27th.
Okay.
And so that's
a lot of our music.
That's
we're
going to be our
bringing
music
all our music guys
so
back on.
If you want to strum a couple chords for us real quick, we can.
I gotta practice a lot.
But again, so awesome. You know, we appreciate it so much. And again, you're always welcome to tag us and join us and jump on and share
if you want to,
stories.
you have a message you want to get out, just a little bit more, let us know, man. We're here.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
But thank you to all of your fans that joined. You know, again, we appreciate you. We gained 30 subscribers in just the 3 days, I think, since you posted that you were going to be on here. So we're a lot of love for that.
Yeah.
Thank you to Julie for letting you have the time. I know she probably doesn't control your schedule, but you know, you're a team. Yeah. and thank you to Max for joining as well. And man, we couldn't appreciate everybody more.
Master, real quick, we go live on Thursdays. That's
every Thursday,
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Pacific time.
West Coast time, 1800.
So poor Dad Bod Veteran, it's 10:30 right now.
Yeah.
So we kept him up.
And then on YouTube
I would have been playing Call of Duty. Okay, I'll just be honest.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Do you do the voice on Call of Duty?
Oh, I do so many voices on Call of Duty. It's so crazy. It just depends on who I'm playing with, but yes, I do.
I need to go find the Italian one because I want to. And the girl.
You're talking about Joey. You talking about Joey? Yeah, that guy.
He's talking about.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I like him. He's pretty good. He's solid.
There you go. And he does. You had some stuff on voice stuff too, right?
Yeah, I did a couple voiceovers for a chocolate company. I had a couple videos, actually paid videos. I did one for a fire pit company, which I have a huge fire pit in my backyard because of them.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a couple paid things that I did early on. I really haven't done any lately, and that's fine. I don't want to. But yeah, it was fun. At the very beginning, it was a lot more voiceovers.
Look over in the comment. I put it up.
Look, his name is Anakin Skywalker on Call of Duty. He is relentless. He is he's something else on Call of Duty. Okay, I don't know what his kill death ratio is. I haven't looked at it, but he is something.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Every day Saturday. Big Roof Dog 50. Hit me up. Resurgence. Yes. So. Does that make you Darth Vader?
No, I'm DB veteran.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm trying to keep it simple for people.
It's about the brand, baby.
Yeah,
it's about the brand.
Exactly.
Well, we will not hold you anymore. We appreciate your time. I think I probably overstated that, but I can't say it enough because you've enlightened my life a little with these videos because it does take us back to some of the things we went through. So I appreciate it. For those of you that aren't following him, you have to follow the Dad Bod Veteran.
I'm gonna miss the comments.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. If you want to hang out back there, if you don't mind chatting after, we'll close up and get out of here.
All right. Well, hey, thank you to everybody that joined, all the comments. Thank you to you guys for having me. It's really cool. This is only my second podcast doing, so I really appreciate it and hope to do more in the future. And absolutely hope to do more with you guys.
I'm sure you're gonna get some. You're gonna get some messages.
Invites.
Yeah, we have a couple that we've all kind of. Like we were just stuck in Nebraska for like a month or two where we got like everybody we were interviewing happened to be from Nebraska.
The connection, the Nebraska connection.
Yes, it was great. So Apex, Olivia, everybody, thank you.
Thank you guys.
And Dad Bod Veteran, we'll see you in a minute. Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you guys.
Bye. Dude.
Oh, man.
I love doing this.
Yeah.
I love doing this.
See, that's what, it's one of those things where every Thursday morning I get up,
Max.
get excited, and
lunchtime here in
shoot. Okay, yeah.
Man, we're all over now.
5 in Alaska, 6 West Coast.
Welcome to the new epicenter. Yeah. North Platte, baby. North Platte.
Charles Seeks Silver. Probably going to be getting an email pretty soon. We're going to have to check.
Well, we got Apex. We got Charles.
Oh, no. Yeah. Again, we're going to be.
There's a lot of you. You're all going to get stocked.
Yeah. Calendary.
Thank you to everybody.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Thanks again for joining. Hey, welcome. Hey, welcome. Go check out the contagioneffectshow.com. Go buy some merch. Check it out.
We're going to redo that store.
Hey,
that store is
still there.
Store's terrible.
It's still there.
I don't like it.
Go buy something.
Eric.
I'm still waiting for the deuces.
Deuces, buddy.